sexy Destiny. I know, son. It's good stuff. I mean, you gotta get the blood flowing. Everybody know LMFAO? Come on! All right, so your destiny. We're going to talk about my destiny, your destiny. We're going to talk about giving some things away after traditions talks. We're going to talk about these wonderful little golf shirts. I want you to feel them, touch them. Oh, they feel so good. Great quality for $28. And the great thing is, because that's on there, guess what you get to do? Write it off. I mean, you can't get better than that. And ladies, do you like the way these shirts look? Wouldn't you like them contoured to your body? Well, you can have that right here. So, ladies, if you want to order some of these, $28, and you can order them straight to your catalog. That is our cost, and that is straight to that's a pretty darn good deal for these Divots shirts. So, if you want them, get with Rose up front, and that's it. So, we're going to get off the start with traditions coming on in here.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you again for having us back. We're not too long ago, so we've got some great news to kind of update you on. And I'm Will Blanchard. And we also have with us Nadia. Nadia is a new agent, and so you just started with us and going through some training. So if you come out, when you come out to traditions in the next week or so with a client, you may see Nadia out there as well. So we're getting them trained up. But we have some exciting news. Last time we were here, we were talking about opening up a new phase. Well, in the last week, that's happened. So we've got brand new home sites, and there's a plat map in some of the paperwork we put out. Any of the home sites that are numbered are Front Door Community's home sites that are currently available. They're a mix of slab sites as well as basements. Some of the back are front park, green spaces. Some that have like a tree buffer behind them. So for those clients that are seeking some privacy things or some being near green space, there's several sites like that are available. We also introduced a couple of new home plans. Let me tell you a little bit about that.
We actually have a new ranch plan that's been widely received. We've been waiting for it for a little bit. It's actually about 2,500 square feet. Has an upper level loft of about 500, so you've got about a 3,000 square foot ranch. And we also have another owners on the main level plan. It's a little bit unique. I think it's going to be probably one of our best sellers. It has your owners on the main, but it also has a guest bedroom as well as a study. And so that's going to be about 3,500 square feet. We've got our amenities that we're getting ready to roll out this month, which if you weren't here last time, we've got an incredible clubhouse overlooking the competition pool, fitness center in the lower level. We've got a pier we're going to add. It's already stocked the pond. And then, of course, we're going to run the sidewalk all the way down to the greenway. And the best thing is we've got maintenance-free living for some of our investors or people that just don't like to do their driveway. Our lawn maintenance, everything is included in the HOA.
One of the things we didn't mention about the new phase release, for the first 5 clients that we bring in, we're also some buyer incentives for the first 5. We think we're going to have 2 people right on that new ranch plan within a week. They've been kind of waiting for it to get rolled out, so they're very excited. We're getting some additional questions answered for them. But if you have clients that are in the market right at this moment, and so those first 5 home buyers, we've got special incentives available.
What's the price going to be on the ranches?
Great question. It's going to start out, the base price for our A elevation is in the $453, and then the additional elevations will just go up accordingly depending on the mix of materials and everything. And if you do want a second story, that's about $30,000 to add the additional 400 plus square feet, almost 500 square feet.
Yeah, my class
Is that going to be all brick? What's the outside?
We have some, well, the front, Lewis, is either brick or shake or a combination of stone. So different, there's like 5 different elevations, they're all different.
Can always add brick.
But yes.
The 2 sides and 3 sides, yes.
So they're not already 3 sides, you have to add that?
Right, we do a brick water table. So using as an example, a 3,500, 4,000 square foot home, it's about $10,000 roughly to add brick sides. So it's very reasonable in the casino things.
Do you have 3-car garage?
We have a couple sites that will accommodate 3 cars, so those are very specific, just need a certain amount of which areas to accommodate that. But we do have at least one right now in the new release, possibly a second,
And how many homes total in the development?
approximately 435.
What's your HOA fee?
It's gonna be 2,100, so roughly 180 a month, but that would include all of the mowing, pine straw, pruning, fertilizing, plus all of the amenities, excuse me, including the fitness center.
So I'm just curious,
That's a deal.
Really, it's just a long.
Really a deal.
Yeah, one
More.
second.
I'm curious, does the lawn service include annual plantings or is it just for fertilizing and mowing and pine straw? Do you get flowers planted?
The flowers you would have to put in yourself.
Yourself, okay.
Yeah, but it's freshening up pine straw, pruning, so overall maintenance.
For those properties that are going to have siding that don't have multiple sides brick, what is the siding material? Is it price like?
It's a cement, Certainty is the brand, but it's the same.
You got it for site?
Absolutely.
Will it raise if you get 4 sides?
Yeah, we'd be surprised, the appraisals in there have been very strong.
Okay.
So is it $10,000 per site? If you are for a 2-sided, and if you want to do the other 2, it's 10 grand more each side? Is that what you're saying?
It's gonna be about 5,000 a side. So if you want 2 sides,
So it's all be about 10 more.
And it will vary depending on, again, size of the home, elevation, all that. We just got the floor plan this week, so we're actually selling off just renderings right now. We're looking to hopefully get a permit, and that's the next stage. It's still going through plat being recorded, so we know that takes a little while with our site count. But as soon as that happens, we're actually going to go in for a model permit to see if we can actually start with this. First phase.
Community,
no, this is, we're gonna be the range one brand new plan, yes. But it's there, it has a great floor plan, it has extra house room, so it's gonna be a big.
Very open.
What are those 3 schools starting in fall of 2016?
That's it.
Midway, Desana, and then we're still going to be at West, at least for the season.
Midway actually has had a different change. They have actually shifted 75% of their population to the new elementary, which is going to be Brandywine. So the demographics is going to be very, very similar to Victory Creek and Shiloh this year. It's going to take a little bit to bring up their test scores because they're a year behind. But really that 75% that's going to go to Brandywine, Victory and Shiloh are going to move their students into.
Have we peppered you with questions?
Fire away.
So we have a great incentive to get you guys to come see us. If you send.
7%, yay!
You're killing me, Louis. But we're gonna do a drawing for $100 just to get attendance. So if you got somebody that can register, call, text us, bring them by. We'll probably do that. We'll draw the end of March. We'll make that. Draw. Any other questions? Thank you for having us. Hope to see you all soon.
Hey, Monica, what are we gonna give away today?
We will give away a shirt.
Good job, guys. Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Go sell something. I'm here to say whatever I want, right?
All right.
They should give me a giveaway. Yeah. Contest. I gotta make them for it. All right. I'm gonna give away 2 golf shirts. And you know what else I'm gonna give away because I'm in a good mood today?
A good day.
I'll give away this magazine. I'm gonna give away dues, and then remember, 1 month's dues. So we got 3 drawings. Make sure you got your cards in there for Miss Monica. Those that were late, no, Steve, no, those that were late don't get to be put in. Get them in quickly.
Step back.
Okay. 10 seconds, Monica, then you're drawing. 10,
I fear the business
9,
cards don't work. I just,
8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First winner goes to winner chicken dinner. Rosa! options. Would you like the 1 month's dues?
The 1 month.
There you go. You're a smart person. You can go buy 3 shirts. Dude, you are smart. Okay, next winner is. Oh, Miss Pam Evans. Would you like the black or would you like the white? You better go.
Nice throw.
Thank you.
By the way, Pam, Pam was working down on the south side with a broker that was independent, and they just came to Century 21 recently. And their staff is going to be coming up here tomorrow. Someone was going to be here at 11 tomorrow morning. Pam was very impressed with our operation, and Sean Saylor, the owner, he emailed me and said, Pamela, basically, once she started working and saw your back end and how people work very efficiently, she told me that I really need to pick our game up, so we'd like to come see what you guys do. So thank you for that, Pam. We appreciate that, and that's all good.
Thank you. Thanks for the shirt.
Yes, and the final winner of today is, wow, look at there, Carrie with the C. Congratulations. Okay, so what do we got now? Is it showtime or no time? And by the way, we got Virginia Henniger in the back. So nice to see you celebrating today. It's great. Congratulations on your supersized closing the other day. Good job. Jeff Zuloff.
Showtime.
Showtime. Make it showtime. We want some energy in the voice.
Well, thanks, Henniger team, for coming in for my presentation. I appreciate it. And, I've got some great news. Rates are still low. 3.625 on a 30-year fix, 3 1/4 FHA, no points. Good news, right?
Good news.
2.875 on a 15-year fix conventional. Great news.
Absolutely.
Right? So rates are good. The big report this week on Friday will be unemployment numbers. We want a bad report, so rates go lower.
No, then they can't buy.
It only takes the cream of the crop here in Forsyth County, so we'll have no problem finding buyers. So we want a bad report, right? Rates stay low. And so that's good news. I think rates are gonna stay low for a while. Week to week, we don't know, it just depends. But if you look at the stock market, the Dow right now is around 16.4, 16.5. As long as that stays low too, rates will stay low. So when people start buying back into the stock market, they're usually pulling their money from the bond market, and that's bad for rates. So we want people buying bonds, which keeps rates low. So it's an inverse relationship in that regard. So rates are good. Can anyone tell me if somebody's a veteran, they're doing a VA loan, and they have 10% or more disability, how much is the upfront funding fee for that loan? Very good. How about second time use? I mean, they're not disabled. This scenario, they're not disabled. It's second time use. What's the funding fee? Anybody?
5-ish, 5%?
It's still nothing.
Huh?
It's still nothing. Zero.
No, just a veteran using their loan for the
The
second
second
time,
time.
not a disabled veteran, just a 6%.
It should be nothing. It's not.
3.3. So 3.3%. If it's a first time use, it's 2.15. I get this question a lot, so I thought I'd bring it up. But first time's 2.15, second time's 3.3.
Does it continue to go up from there per use?
Tops out at
Caps at
3, caps at 3.3. And I get this question too, if they want to put money down, they don't have to, but if they want to and they put down like 10%, that 3.3 drops down to like 1.5%. So that actually the funding fee comes down if they put money down. So I've had people do it. So, but it's a good time to sell homes. Rates are low. That's all I've got. Any questions? Maybe to draw something?
Would you like to draw something and give away something? I would like Jeff to give away something. I love putting him on the spot. He's gonna give away $50 gift card, aren't you, Jeff?
I say 99% of the room's gonna hate me and one person gonna love me, so.
That's not mine.
That's not mine.
Terry Swanson.
Diane.
Diane.
Can't read my writing, can't
First name I can read.
Good job, $50 gift card. Give her out of the box. Oh, we're gonna do another one. Oh, $50. $50 gift card.
Pam Evans.
Can you win twice?
No, can't win twice.
Okay.
Gotta be fair. I saw her put in 3 cards in.
Probably what I get on it.
Oh, that's funny. Coons!
There you go.
Thanks, Jeff.
You know what? I think it'd be great if you gave everybody $50.
And if everybody throws us alone with Jeff in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm sure he'd be delighted to do that.
That's right.
No, can't attention to you.
Well, that would be against the law.
That's right.
I am a broker.
Hey, Dee, I want you to look around. Look around.
Uh-huh.
We're full now.
I know.
Who in here voted today? By the way, we have seats, we can get extra seats. Come on around, Carol. Carol, you're so excited that you're here. Come on in. Right here.
Voting.
Today we're gonna spend the majority of our time talking about time management. Because you'll need it. Dee came in and was laid out in the front row here and said, I get to have all this as a bed because nobody else is here.
Someone else here. Now they're here.
Okay, Carol, what do you got going on today?
Hi. Hi. I haven't had my coffee yet. I have a lot going on. I'm showing houses.
Oh, I thought you were having a luncheon or something.
No, we got that last week and you didn't know.
There you go. I called her though, I called her on my way down to that appointment in Sandy Springs. Okay, here's the deal, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
You're gonna hear a lot talk about teams. If you haven't talked about teams or heard about teams, it's one of the biggest trends going on in real estate. And what I wanted to do is say, hey, we've got 5 teams in this office, in this company right now. Some of you might be going, hey, I want to join a team or I want to grow a team. There's pros and there's cons to every single thing in this business. I'm going to tell you, Carolyn's growing a team right now. We've got 3 teams that are looking to grow. If you are struggling or know somebody that's struggling, if you hear somebody say, I am just not able to get out there and do it, I'm willing to do the work, but I'm just not having the success, what should I do? Have them come talk to me. I'm more than happy to sit down, and each of the teams is very dramatically different. So as you hear these things and you go, is that something I should consider? I want to just put some things out there. That one, we do have 3 different teams. And by the way, Kimberly Yates is having a little open house tonight. She may or may not pop in here, but from 5 to 7, they're having a little open house over at their thing. If you want to stop by there, you can go check it out. But who are teams good for? Meaning, should you think about joining the team? If you're new to the business without a lot of sphere of influence or social influence with enough people that have buying power, you might be set up for a team if you're not willing to go out there and do a lot of cold calling, okay? People from other sales backgrounds with a high degree of closing skills and follow-up implementation. Maybe not the most socially engaged, but very much a technical person that's going to go in there and wear the phone out and follow up with somebody until they list or die or until they buy or die, period. I mean, just being real with you. If that is your mentality, that you can be suited up well. Or agents that want to learn the business from a rainmaker in real estate that may help them springboard their career. Okay, those are really the 3 types of people that a team might be good for. I'm going to tell you this, in any form of where your business is, what our goal is to align with you and wrap around you and have you leverage our resources that we got here, primarily our staff, that will help you in every phase of your career. So if you go, hey, you know what, ultimately I'm going to go out there and generate my own business and I'm going to be strong enough and powerful enough that I will need to have an office manager that I hire first, and then I go out there and start growing a team around me because I'm going to be that productive and that's my long-term goal. If that's your goal as an individual, we can help you down that path. If your goal is, hey, I'm going to go out there and I'd like to align with the team, we got 5 dramatically different teams with dramatically different approaches, and 3 of them right now are poised to grow. We're going to celebrate every single one of them. We're going to start doing videos because I believe this. There's a lot of new people getting into business today. You might know some with another company that they're struggling. They're going, I think I might just get out of business. You might want to reach out to them and say, hey, you know, you might want to come talk to our broker and find out, is there a team that might be aligned for you? Teams are not for everybody. But if you look at this business and go, I want to grow and grow unlimited, then teams is going to be something that you want to entertain for yourself to grow your own team. And it takes a lot of production to get behind that. So, Alex, you want to get on next? We were looking good back then.
Answer to somebody else's phone.
So, if you have any questions, what should you do?
Ask them.
Come talk to me. Okay? If you want to grow a team, what should you do?
Up to you.
Find out if the time is right for you. Do you know how you're going to know if the time is right for you? If you have 20 to 30 closings in a year, in a given year, then you might want to consider starting to grow a team for yourself. If you haven't had 20 to 30 closings, you really don't need to think about growing a team because you don't have enough to go fund an office manager to make sense. Quite simple. So we'll help you get to wherever you want to go. Reach out to Rob, Deb, myself, and we'll sit down and have a consultation with you. But it ain't easy, and it's a lot of responsibility. When I was listing and selling, I expanded out as an individual. I went and did all the things that most people do. You get busy and you go, oh my God, I'm so busy, I need another me. And guess what that person is that goes out there and generates a lot of business? They're not good at all the detail stuff. But then they go out there and they team up with somebody that's another them. And then what happens is that partnership is going to fail because nobody's doing good at the detail work. So customers get unhappy and there's you get a lot of dissension between the people in that. So that's not the best way to grow a team. So we'll help you. Let me know. All right. So what do you give up if you go join a team? Well, I'm going to tell you this. The teams that are driving out there, you got to pay the piper. So you give up some of the commission split that you otherwise would have in your pocket. And you give up your brand for either forever or a temporary thing. But you keep your self-identity, and it might help you get into a different production mindset. That's the difference. Okay? Any questions about this? I want to put it out there because you might have heard us talking about teams and stuff, and I don't want there to be any confusion. I'm not pro-team. I think everybody should be on the team, but there are good points about teams, but then there's great points about being your own thing, if that's what you are. But always remember this. We're here to help you at any phase of your career. Wake up, and I want you to think about, where are you supposed to be? Is real estate your destiny? Is real estate where you are supposed to be right now? Do you feel, who in here feel, and it's okay if you don't raise your hand. Some might look at it as a job and go, this is a means to an end. But if you really think about it, and I want everybody to shut their eyes, but I want to see this. Shut your eyes. And I want you to raise your hand if you are convinced that real estate is your destiny as far as the business is concerned. Okay, you can open your eyes and shut your hand. Open your eyes and shut your hand. Power to people. Okay, so let me tell you what happened to me. Who in here thinks that because my mother was a broker with Northside Realty that I just kind of said, I'm going to go do what my mother did. My father was in the mortgage business. Who in here thinks that I just followed in the footsteps and I grew up and thought I'm always going to be in real estate in some way? One person, two, three, maybe more of you go, yeah, probably. I'm going to tell you what really happened to me, but I can go back and connect the dots. Do you know, I had a job opportunity selling nuts and bolts coming out of college. I had a resume at Georgia State, which took me 7 years to get out of college. I had a lot of fun. Bartending, I was successful at bartending. I had fun, and it took me 7 years to get out of college. When I did, Georgia State had a program where you could go and apply, and they had your resumes. I was not the brightest person. I'm still not the brightest person. But what happened was I went down and interviewed on this nuts and bolts job, and the interview went well. And I went down to Columbus, Georgia, and got up in the morning, went down there, and toured with this guy. And they said, your starting salary is going to be right around $25,000. With bonus, you can get about $30,000. Wow, that is great. And I was about to sign up with them. And then the next day, Syntex Homes was having a marketing job that they were interviewing for. And at that point in time, I saw my mother work through the 80s, which if you were in the 80s and anything related to real estate, interest rates went up to 18%. Do you think it was challenging and tough back then to sell? Yeah. And my mother was one of the first few that made it into the $1 Million Club when the home sales, when your big sales were $200,000 and you were knocking out the park, you sold $100,000 home. And Dunwoody, you could buy a home for $100,000 and whatever. So that was knocking it out of the park to get to those ranks. And when I saw her going through high school and working her job, I said, there's no way in hell I want to be in sales. I don't want to be anything related to sales. And y'all that see my mom as a bubbly person, who knows my mom? She's a very bubbly personality, very positive. But let me tell you something, when you grow up with somebody like that, she's very emotional. And when we didn't clean up the kitchen, she'd be yelling at us going, you didn't clean up the home, and that phone rings, she'd go, hello. And I all this going on, I said, there's no way in hell I'm gonna do that. And I go through college and I go to this marketing thing because I had a degree in business management with an emphasis in marketing. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go interview at Centex for a marketing job. And halfway through the interview, the guy, look, I'm answering marketing questions. He's asking me about consumers, I'm answering marketing terms and stuff. And he stops me and goes, you do realize this is a sales position you're interviewing for? And I said, oh, well, I didn't know that. Let me change my answers then when we start at the beginning. And I kid you not, this is how my interview started off. It was David Baker. David Baker's uncle was basically the founder of Northside Realty, who my mother was a broker of, who I actually got to spend my senior vocation day with his uncle, Ed Isaacson, who's the father of Johnny. Pretty cool stuff. So I went into that interview going, you know why am I being sales? And this guy, David Baker, all of a sudden I said, well, my mom's in real estate. So I was like, okay, I'll start selling now. My mom's in real estate. Who does she work for? Northside Realty. Oh, my uncle's Ed Isaacson. Oh, I spent the day with your uncle. So I went through years of my life, up until about 4 years ago, I went through years of my life thinking that interview, that the point that I started talking about his uncle was the point that he started giving me credibility. And he said, wow, and then he knew my mom. And he said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna give you a shot. And I thought it was all related to knowing his uncle and him knowing my mom. For years, so that was back in 1992. So fast forward to probably about 4 years ago, let's say, how long is that? That's 20 years later. I've always thought in this story that it was because of the people that I knew. I ran into David Baker and I said, yeah, I was telling some people the other day about the story and how because of my mom and Ed that you pushed me on through to the next level. He said, that had nothing to do with that. I found it very interesting that he recognized this and remembered this for 20 years. He said, do you know why I thought that you could make it in sales? I said, why? He said, you had driven in from Cincinnati, Ohio in a snowstorm to make it to that interview. And that's the difference. I figured if you're that young and you were that committed to getting here, you'd be fine in sales. I thought, wow. And you know what was a turning point for me? I did not want to get into sales, but you know what the turning point was? He said, what do you really want to make in a year? And I said, what I was going to be signed up for the nuts and bolts company. I said, 25 to 30,000. And he started laughing. He said, our bottom agent makes about 50. I said, you know what? I think sales is going to be great. True story. So I fell into this business, but when I go back and connect the dots, I sit there and go, wow, you know what? Had I not had that interview with that individual, I would have never had an opportunity to make the second run. And when I'm sitting there in the president's office and I go, this is Bill Sheen, one of the biggest known names through the 90s in construction around Atlanta. I looked at him, and you got to think about this. Here I am, I'm in college, getting ready to graduate, and he goes, well, what do you think about new home sales? And I said, well, what are you going to do when you run out of land? Think about that. He started laughing and stuff, but then as I get into the process, the sales manager at the time, he said, Roland Rich, he said, Terry, I got a question for you. And we asked this of everybody. Why do you want to get into new home sales? Now you think I've been through 3 interviews to get to this point. You'd think I would have thought through why I want to get into new home sales. And you know, I looked at him and I go, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. And the guy looks at me and goes, I guess there's something to be said for honesty. And I'm thinking, God, this is great. Nobody else, had I interviewed with anybody else, they never would have passed me through that stuff. So anyway, I fell into real estate, or at least I thought I did by accident. But when I look back, I go, you know what, it wasn't by accident. This is what I was meant to do. I've had a blast doing it, and I just want to share with you guys because it's not just real estate sales. You get to help people in different ways. You can invest in real estate. I'm going to tell you guys, every single person that's in real estate, related to real estate, you need to be investing in real estate or setting your sights about getting ready to invest in real estate. You've never had a better time. Jeff, what are the rates? Where's Jeff? We don't want the rates to be on investment properties. Who can tell me what investment rate property is for a first rental property?
Probably like 4.5.
If that, I think it's probably less than that, probably 4 1/4, something like that. When on earth could you get an investment property at 4 1/4%, lock it in on a 30-year rate, and be able to make money each and every month off the rental property, and let the people pay your equity down? Think about it. It's the greatest retirement opportunity right now. Okay, and then when that equity is paid down, you do a 1031 exchange, you roll that money, you don't pay taxes, and you go buy another investment property. This is how you retire wealthy through leverage and real estate stuff. And you guys are real estate. There's no reason on this planet that you shouldn't start looking at that stuff and going, how can I buy my first property? And then be smart about it, okay? So, how to get your dream job. I hope it's in real estate. A lot of you raised your hands, some of you didn't, that's okay, but I'm gonna tell you this, if you're sitting in here, connect with someone who has your dream job. So if you're in real estate, you go, man, I'd like to make 200,000 plus this next year, or 2 years from now. It's very difficult to jump from 50,000 up to 200,000. It's very, very difficult. What do you got to change? Well, go find the people that are doing that and go, hey, ask them. Most people that have had success over time don't mind sharing you the secret to success. You know what it is? Work smarter and work harder. The work harder is the part that usually gets people to not get there. Simple. But everybody will share their secret to success with you. The problem is you got to go out there and do it. Okay? So if you want to go find your dream job, you love real estate, go find the people that are doing better than you. And if you hear somebody, if you go, I went to this training class and I heard they said I need to do this and they need to do that, and need to do that. And you hear somebody on the bullpen and go, you don't need to do that. Yeah, I'm telling you, you can look at these people and go, what'd you make last year? And I want you to think about this stuff. We need to share opportunities for growth, and you need to get involved in this stuff and go out there and just do it. It's easy out there. So find success and listen to it, then do. Nobody that is successful ever, over a consistent period of time, ever says it is easy. Ever. Do you love helping people? Do you love what money brings or can bring to your world? Then ask yourself, what is truly keeping me from living the life that I see I want to live? Whatever that is. Here's the great news. Regardless of where you are, the new direction in your life begins with a single step in a different direction. Then stay in that direction one step at a time. Consistency and time will get you to where you want to be. It just might take you a little longer than what you really wanted to, but consistency and time with doing the right thing, saying, I know if I do these things, I will ultimately get to where I want. That's the path to your life, good or bad. And by the way, if you didn't vote, get out there and vote. A lot of change going on out there. I don't care what you vote, just go out there and vote. Make sure your voice is heard. What are the potential disruptors? I want you guys to realize this. I printed this up this morning. We got disruptors in our business right now, and I want you guys to look at your business and go, you have to be the stockbroker. You got to think and act like a stockbroker, and your area is the stock market that you drive. Lowe's and Media Group are backing a fee-for-service agent marketplace. I want y'all to read this. This was out of Inman News in October. Lowe's is investing in a fee-based real estate company. That's not just like a Duffy. This is an online service that people can go bid for service-related items and have realtors bid against one another. It is something that is not only that, it'll something, I'll show you, I'm gonna pull it up when we get to the end. It's called Solo Pro. And we're gonna look at what that website is because it offers great savings in the way that they're positioning it. And then you go to get Lowe's behind it. The people said, you know what these new companies are gonna offer, who they're gonna appeal to? Who are they gonna appeal to? The millennials. Think about it. By the way, let's do this exercise again. Just I want to drill this stuff in your head. Who in here is below 40? Lewis. 4.
Who below what?
Who's below 40? You do not qualify. I know that. Okay. Who's below 40? Raise your hand. Okay. 5 out of a room of about 35, 40. Let's get with the program. We have to lead them to a different point. Alex, I'm going to make you get up here and dance. You do it so well. I'm impressed. Fee for service. Hourly rate charges for things like showing homes. Pay for marketing you believe you want to have done to sell your home. Put in the listing service for a flat fee. Writing a contract fee. Negotiating walk-in to close. Agents to bid for jobs that the consumer requests online. Wow. And then you get somebody like Lowe's behind it. What can that do for our industry? These are the type of disruptors that are out there. There's also, what's that website that you sent me there? Owners.com. If you haven't heard it on the radio, they're starting to blast it out on the radio. What is Owners.com?
Another one that dropped.
Another one like this, and they're blasting it out there on the radio.
On the TV, they have
And they go on the
TV.
MLS.
They're all over the TV now.
What do you think?
Yesterday, I saw 5 advertising in less than an hour on owners.com. From the TV.
Well, what they do is sell
working.
your house at a discount, and then when you buy a house through them, they give you 50% of the commission back.
Well, I'm going to show you what
That's
Pro
right.
Solo does, because they've got a pretty good little system. And when you look at it, they got a bronze, silver, and gold, platinum, or gold package. The more that you do, as an agent, the more the price goes up, but it's all controlled by you select as the consumer. And that's on the listing side or the buy side. So then you got your by owner companies, owners.com that I went on there and I said, what about in Forsyth County? They have down by cities. I went and looked at county, there's only 10 listings. And I thought this is gonna be interesting to watch. How many more listings do they get over the next 3 to 6 months? Because I just heard them about a month ago. Then Lewis sent me a text the other day and said, hey, check out this website. Sent me the owners.com website. And I hadn't gone to it. So you're gonna need to go to these sites and see what the consumer's gonna be seeing because they're gonna go check these things out. You know what you guys gotta do?
Offer your game.
Offer your game, up your game so that you can offer your game. I want you to think about that. Now, some of you are gonna get fearful and go, oh my God, if that's doing, I'm not gonna be worth anything. You might not be worth anything right now, but we can help you get worth something. I want you to think about that. It's not easy to get worth 6% on a $500,000 home. Takes time and consistency, work, effort, trends analysis, not being afraid to sit down in front of me, Rob, Deb, and sit there and go, let me bare my soul, and let me show you what I can or can't do in talking about this stuff. Because if you never reach out and try to talk to one of us that we can help you get better, then imagine how bad you're going to sound to the people. You're just not going to know it. And they'll say, hey, why don't you record yourself? You won't come in here and say, record yourself sitting in front of people. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because you know how bad you might sound. Okay? Those that are wanting to get better, you record yourself, you do all those things, you'd be amazed at how far you can go. Okay? So, they're already here. We will look at it when we're done here. I want you guys to stand out like this little kitty does. This is what you guys have to do, but not in that way. The good thing is there's 80% of this business that doesn't know how to stand out. Or if they do, they're standing out in the wrong way. Oh, we have Girl Scout cookies?
Yes, I was weak when I ordered them, but I'm strong today. They need to disappear.
Robert, here, grab 2.
Don't bring that crap to me.
I got to get some of that. Lewis, here's your Girl Scout.
Pick another one. I can't have cookies, so.
Jim Tiffany? Where are you?
Keep going, keep going.
No.
And you're not here like this one. Alex, boy, back in the bag.
Girl Scout.
Virginia's been looking for those.
Who had?
But I ate them all.
We've had disruptors here in Atlanta for a long time. Who are disruptors that were small scale compared to this?
Redfin, Duffy.
Redfin, but locally Duffy. Everybody heard of Duffy?
Hand the bucket.
Well, you know what I heard the other day? They sold their company to their agents. So she and her husband sold their company on a 6-year plan. So she'll be tailing out over time. But what is that model? It's really the beginning phase of the big website thing. The challenge is going to be, bless you, the challenge is going to be when you get the big money back in it, how far is that ship going to go? Because Duffy didn't have the Lowe's behind her. Duffy had her own way to fund it. What did Duffy do? What does Duffy do?
When I can't even handle showing their houses, and here's why. When you call them, it's like showing time, which I despise, by the way. I think it's so lazy, but when you call, you get a sheet. You get a freaking Excel spreadsheet that says if it's available. I don't want a spreadsheet. I don't want a human who's never seen my house. I want somebody that's like, yes, let me tell you about it. It's in the Brookwood School District. It's blah, blah, blah. It's just you don't get anything with Duffy. And the ones that I do show are overpriced. I feel so bad for the clients because like they're pacing out in the driveway, wanting to sell it so bad. And they just sit there and they sit.
I've had Duffy clients actually call
Me too.
and ask me to negotiate for them and tell them things, and I'm like, you need to ask your agent. Well, I don't really have an agent. And that's the way they respond.
There's one in Laurel Springs, and I'm just dying to go beat the door down. So
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Let's say that happens to you.
Everybody uses them twice.
You know, in the beginning, when Duffy started off, it was like a self-owner, and they put in the listing, contact owner directly. So agents got used to this, and they went out and they posted. They charged $500 flat fee, then you rented the lockbox, that was $110, whatever it was for the lockbox. You rented the sign, you paid for the flyers, you paid for everything. Once you really paid for everything, you're paying probably $1,100 out of pocket before you even know if the home's gonna sell. It wasn't just $500. Then they got into the short sale business. Then they took away your rights to contact the sellers directly. They are going after agents that contact the sellers directly. They're making complaints to the Georgia Real Estate Commission. My complaint was, they started the program doing that. There's a lot of agents that still think they're supposed to contact the sellers if it's a Duffy listing because of all the years of them pounding that into our heads, right? And then they switched the game. And then all of a sudden she's going after the people, and I'm going, well, that's a bunch of crap. You're the one that started that stuff. You got to kind of own it when you do that. You can't go start, wanting to cause pain on others that are just doing it from the formula before. But the reality is, if they're not advertising that you can contact the sellers directly, can you? No.
There is a
So-
section in the listing that says, as well, we hold.
Yeah, there is a section that says, but it says on their listings now, it says, do not contact seller, contact the listing agent directly. And they give the numbers and they have a hotline and they have somebody there supposed to answer all the calls.
Yeah, but I like Duffy in the way that I always leave my card in the house. And most of the sellers that have those homes, they look at those cards. And then they call you when they're not being successful with Duffy. So you have an opportunity, if you're bringing somebody or you're checking the house, to leave your card on those properties, because most likely, if you're good at your game, you will get a call. And to relist the house, and then you can sell it. I sold like 3 or 4 of ex-Duffy customers that called me after, and
Well, and
sold the house.
do they go in and say, look, you should paint these neutral colors, mom?
No,
I mean,
no.
like, I've shown great houses from them, and I'm like, why
A lot
the
of
hell didn't
listings,
somebody tell them to paint and declutter?
They have no personality
It's terrible.
whatsoever. It's just an internet, for me, it's just like an internet. Go and choose and pay the $600 and good luck.
Hell, residential's only getting half right.
She started off,
Houses cards.
she started
Right.
off sitting in the family room and signing people up in the family room through the online service. That's what she was doing in the beginning. Let me tell you something, you're getting $500 up front and you get 200 listings, what have you got in your pocket?
Cash.
A lot of money,
Right.
without selling a thing. Okay?
Right.
So that's how she started off. Then you look at all the listings that she's had at $500 up front. Then she started saying, hey, I'll let you pay at closing, but I'm gonna charge you whatever the percentage was, and it was a lot greater than 500. And you still had to rent the lockbox and all that stuff. So it was quite a little cash machine. It's a matter of how you want to serve the client.
It got her through the recession.
So, Kimberly, you got a 30-second spin for your open house tonight. I've already talked about it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can pass out flyers with the address. So, we moved into an office only about 2-3 miles from here. And we are with an investor who creates seller leads. His phone rings 500 to 1,000 times a day with properties that he would like to, an option to buy. If he does not buy them, we convert them into listings. This time last year, I was making very good living consistently with 30 to 40 listings. I am now a team lead with 11 people underneath of me, and we're at about 280 listings, 49 of them under contract. And we can only carry about 80% of the leads. And our agents are inundated. So anybody that might be interested in joining a team, you're not just going to be a listing agent, because we have agents on our team that's been with us, none of them has been with us more than 7 days. And, we have agents with 20 and 30 listings already. So your phones ring from other leads of sellers, buyers coming on your listings. You could be a very busy agent if you're interested. So we're having a meet and greet at our office, our new office. We can give you the address.
Yeah, y'all can just pass these around.
20 to 30 listings in this area?
Well, we quadrant the city. But yeah, we have,
What's your average
this is
price
her
point?
area, and she has 23 of them in this area.
In the Forsyth area?
Well, no, Gwinnett and Forsyth.
Gwinnett, okay.
Yeah.
What's the average price point?
Depends. I have the $200,000 listings all the way to $2 million listings. I'd say the average is 150 to 200. But guess what? Those sell. That's why I got 49 under contract.
And I got about 5 commercials that are like 300.
Now, what y'all gotta understand, do they charge a premium for what they provide? Oh, yes. They take a big chunk of the commission out there because they're delivering leads to an agent's table. So depends on what you want your model to be. If you're having trouble and you go, hey, you know what? I'm driven. If you're one of the 3 that we talked about at the beginning, come talk to me. Not everybody's gonna be for Kimberly's team. What I wanna do is go, hey, if you're even considering a team, sit down, we'll help line up which team might make sense for you. Because
That's
how you
what
do
you
that,
did
then
for
we get
me.
out of the business.
You did that for me, so, thanks.
That's right. Rob put out on Facebook, she answered the Facebook thing, came in here, and we said, okay, which one would she be aligned with?
Yeah, she came from Mark Spain's team, so she was guaranteed one lead a day. So how many leads do we give you a day?
Oh, 20 something.
Now, the cool thing is, Kimberly started her career with us, and when she built it out over the years, and it's like, you know what, it's not an easy task. And anybody that's at that production point, they can tell you what they're doing today, but they don't always remember the struggle that they went through in the first couple of years of setting it up. That it takes a lot of time, consistency, and a lot of hard work. Mornings at 4 in the morning, I saw Kimberly, I didn't see her in here, but she was in here,
She was on the access.
You saw the.
setting off the alarm.
Yeah.
But anyway, they are having an open house if you want to check it out.
Answer
That's
answer any questions then.
I would highly encourage you guys, if any of you are looking at the potential of going to a team, I'd rather you do that than to get out of the business. And I'll have a heart-to-heart conversation with you and help you in the right path. Okay? That's what it's about.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. All right, so stand out like kitty girl. The other thing is what to do in a listing that has a deceased spouse. We just went through this the other day. Actually, what? Yesterday, right, Swat? So we had a nice little woman up in Forsyth County up on the lake. Her husband had been deceased since 2001, right? We didn't really think much about it because we thought joint tenancy right of survivorship, right? That's not the way that they had it deeded back when they bought it together. And the husband had been married before.
Wow.
So this was 14 years ago that he died. You would have thought that going through that it would have all been fixed by now.
They don't all.
We didn't have a title search done, we should have. And the title came out where it had questions around it because one, the husband's loans had not been removed from the property, they were from 1971. And when he died, all those were taken care of through the estate. But they didn't have anything on record. And here's this lady that couldn't find the files, didn't know where to get them, didn't know what the ex-spouse made of. It was a nightmare. So if you are finding yourself in a spot where there's a deceased spouse, you need to have an attorney do a title search on the property, period, okay? Before you get into a contract situation. This contract had to be pushed out. How long? It's like 3 weeks. Well, it's 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks. Not many sellers are going to be in a spot where buyers are going to be in a spot that they can wait, right? These people were investors that were buying it as a secondary home, so it didn't really matter to them, and they were cash. But I can tell you if it was a loan and people had to be doing it as their primary residence, it would not have been a pretty situation at all. So if you have that situation happen, always get a title search done at the beginning. And this will also make sure that all loans or liens have been satisfied or what needs to do to get them satisfied. And by the way, we were working with an attorney that there was a slight language barrier there. They were not the friendliest and they did not really want to work through anything. So it was a very challenged sale all the way through. So get it on the front side, yes.
Is there another way to get that done other than a title search?
No.
So I usually ask if they've gone to probate and get the paperwork, so that they're gonna be able to sell it, right?
Still do a title search. Yeah, because here's the thing, people forget what they did or didn't go through, and they might not realize they didn't really go through probate and get everything cleaned up. Okay? Which that was an option. We ended up getting with an attorney, get some direction, and gave guidance, and we got it closed out. But it was a pain, yes.
Just to be clear, doesn't probate only handle the actual ownership of the property? It doesn't address any potential liens.
Okay, watch this. Watch this. She asked about probate. She said, does it handle only the deed or does it also handle liens? I don't know. So get a title search for your protection, yeah.
I had one that delayed closing 6 months. I had the listing and I knew that it was a deceased spouse, so I went and checked it and it did say joint tenancy with right of survivorship. But it was a 26-acre property, and they had done a refi. They only did a refi on the house plus 4. So the house plus 4 was right of survivorship, but the other 22 acres was not. So after we, original glance and went through them 2 weeks prior to closing, the attorney pulls it up, and it took us 6 months. The buyer stuck with it, but had to go through probate. Big mess.
That can be a big mess. So get on the front side, and yes, it'll cost the people a little bit of money, but they really need to do that for your and their protection. So I just want to end on this. You control the direction, you control the height. I want you to dream big, even if your dream is just a little bit bigger than what it was. I want you to dream big and then map it out and go out there and conquer whatever your world is going to be. And everybody in here is different. Some people might look at Kimberly and go, I'm going to go knock Kimberly off there. Some people might go, hey, I just want to be producing this amount. I believe this. I think most people in this world want to do a little bit better than what they're doing. It just depends on how much work is involved to get them there. But I do believe if you can see it, you can draw it out, you guys are in control of your own destiny. And what I do believe is you couldn't pick a better environment than to do that here in North Atlanta and out of this office. So figure out what you want to do. This is the year to make it happen. I believe this year is going to have better opportunities than last year ever did, and last year was phenomenal for a lot of agents. So let's go out there and get our share of the pie, and anything we can do to help you guys out, let us know. It's going to be exciting this year. Louis, you got anything you want to say? By the way, we got 60 people going to the 400 North Board dinner. That is awesome. And I'm going to be able to see, and I will embarrass you, I promise you. So, but that'll be a great, great time. So, anything? Anybody got anything? Kimberly, what time is your thing? 5 to 7?
5 to 7, stop by anytime, we'll have appetizers, answer all your questions, not a problem.
You got any questions? Debbie, you got anything you want to say? Rob, you got anything you want to say?
No, we're good. I did it last week, like her open house.
Make sure you get out there and voice your opinion and vote today, whatever it is, I don't care, make sure your voice is heard. Thank you very much.
You didn't ask me. Huh? He's got something he wants to say.
Late is over.
I do meeting's over now. Thursday, if you guys want to come by here at 1 o'clock, I'll be talking about like Real Satisfied. Hey! We talk about Real Satisfied, Zillow, and Golden Ruler, I think, Thursday, 1 o'clock, if you guys want to come by. Also, Zap update tonight. I know you all love Zap, but there's an update tonight, front and back, just take a read at it. I believe some of that's got to do with lead notifications and stuff, so I'm pretty sure you guys would be interested in updates tonight at 9.
Pyro's going to be doing more smaller meetings to keep things on track out there on the technological changes and stuff behind the scenes. So everybody give Pyro a nice little thank you. Hold on, you know what I do want to do? I want to make sure y'all go check out these websites, okay? This is very important that you see what the disruptors are that are coming out that are here today. Know about them so you can go out there and beat them.